Hi, this is your host, Russ Christensen, for Insight. Today we have a guest. I'm not quite sure whether to call him famous, infamous, or what terminology the one would like to apply to this particular, I don't know, I think character would fit it.
Heinous.
Heinous, that's a good one. His name is Pete Wagner, and Pete Wagner is a well-known cartoonist, author, TV star, and all those other things like that there. But I noticed you're dressed in black, Pete. Is there a reason for this black thing, which is not your normal, bright, dynamic costume?
I'm in mourning.
Oh, you in mourning. What are you in mourning of, for, or about?
Well, I had to kill off Minihaha magazine.
Minihaha magazine. How did you kill off Minihaha magazine?
We're going to be...
Oh, I see. Is there something symbolic about this shovel? We're going to bury it?
Bury it.
Bury it?
We're going to bury it.
Okay.
I thought you would think that the shovel was for something else.
I wasn't sure what you were going to do.
Knowing my personality.
Knowing your personality, I thought it might be used
kind of an award for Russ's ability to...
Right. Very good. You have me. You tabbed me, without a question. Why are you burying Minihaha?
Well,
first of all, I'd better tell people what
Minihaha was the Twin Cities sorely needed humor magazine.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And I started it up in 1979. Over the years, quite a few other humor tabloids, they call them, really it's a tabloid.
Tabloid? That sounds absolutely lascivious and scandalous.
Lewd.
Lewd.
Yes, yes. Well, a tabloid just means that it's in this format, that it's a...
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's on newsprint.
Yeah, hold up.
It's this size.
If you don't hold up right, the camera can't get in on it. You got to have to. Don't worry about it. Hey, those people know what they're doing. Okay, just don't worry about it. We'll hold it up here so they can see mega ha and all that business. Okay.
Anyway, we published about 20 issues, I believe.
All right.
Over the years, we did one version in the early '80s, and we did another one more recently. And it was a very popular magazine, but very difficult to find the people I needed to help do the ad sales with.
In other words, people didn't buy advertisements?
People who know how to wield a shovel.
Oh, okay, right. You didn't even talk to me, did you? You didn't even mention to me.
I did. You sent me to a high school student, remember?
Right.
You said, try this guy, a high school student. That was my first.
I'm not a good salesman.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, right at the beginning.
So we went through about 20 different people, and I just had no success in finding anyone who could pull it off, who could stick with it. I found a few good people, but they were all moving on to other things pretty quickly. But we had fun. We had a lot of fun with the magazine. The most popular one, I think, was the politically incorrect issue.
Oh, I like that. That's right. That's a good one.
It had things like a table. I'm sure you can't probably see this,
but you can explain what it is.
It's a table of terminology that is politically correct and politically incorrect. So you have three columns.
That alone.
Yeah. You have standard English, politically correct, politically incorrect. So, for example, standard English, chair, politically correct, chairperson, politically incorrect, chairman.
Okay.
Okay, and there were some good ones in here, like, let's see here, black for standard English, politically correct, African American, politically incorrect, black. Standard English, fascist, politically correct, politically incorrect, young Republican.
Oh.
Standard English, handicapped, politically correct, physically challenged.
Okay.
And if you're politically incorrect, you say young Democrat. So we had
that you should save and print just alone, that one.
We could probably, that's a good idea, we probably could.
Yeah, just sell that one.
We had a lot of fun. We went out and handed them out at events, May Day Festival. We had a lot of fun writing it. I mean, that went over probably a couple gallons of coffee,
Sure.
Hey! The drug of choice of the 90s is coffee.
Oh, is that the drug of choice?
Yep, espresso, I should say.
Oh, is espresso the drug? I'm sorry, boy, obviously, I quote, I ain't hip.
Oh, man. And the place that this went over the best was the coffee houses.
Oh, really?
Very well, there's been a resurgence of coffee houses.
Yeah, I've read that somewhere in the paper. The coffee shops are coming back.
We did not reach the suburbs too much, but we did one issue devoted to the Mega Mall. The Kirby Puckett balloon here. This was for the Macy's parade.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's a good one.
He's a big balloon. You can see.
Hold that up. That's good.
You can see which part is
emphasized.
Is holding up the balloon.
Yeah.
Is this in your way? Let's get this shovel out of the way. And this led to a little adventure. We, the Minihaha crew, came down to Bloomington to the Mega Mall for the Macy's parade when Macy's came from New York and had the big balloons here. And we got to commandeer the Pink Panther balloon.
You're kidding.
So thanks to this Minihaha, instead of Minihaha, we did Minihaha for the Mega Mall opening. It says, in the tradition of St. Anthony, Maine, River Place, Bandana Square, Canterbury Downs, Northwest Airlines.
Okay, all right.
Optimistic prediction for
the future.
It was really fun. We got out there. We had the biggest balloon, the Pink Panther, and they had Betty Boop, they had Spider-Man, they had Bart Simpson, they had all these big balloons, and we got the balloon. You get all the sandbags off, and there's about 20 of us around the thing with all the ropes, and it starts going up. And about 2 seconds after it gets up there, it hits the corner of a light post.
Oh, no.
And it punctures part of the balloon. Another few minutes later, it punctures another, and they didn't even warn us about this. So here we were with the only balloon that was, so the Pink Panther was like lying on his back, and we were practically dragging him down across the mall, So here's Spider-Man up there, and Betty Boop, and Bart Simpson. Here's us with this Pink Panther. So,
do you feel as if somehow you're cursed, that the gods are plotting against you, and
I think my whole life,
Pete Wagner.
My whole life is like a Roadrunner cartoon, and I'm the coyote, And I think God is up there, just in stitches, watching me
suffer.
Me with my Acme project, just one after another blowing up in my face.
Oh, yes.
So, but it was fun. I mean,
why don't you straighten up and fly right, though?
Well, what fun would it have been if our balloon had just gone up and, we wouldn't have had any story to tell. So,
that's true. That's true. Got a point there.
I'm glad it went kablooey.
Did anyone take pictures of this? Pictures, that is. P-I-T-C-H, pictures.
We actually took quite a bit of video. And,
oh, really?
At some point, I'm hoping to throw together a little half-hour video about Minnehaha.
Come on over. Why don't you come over and help your old friend Russ Christensen put one together? That'd be funny.
Oh, sure. Actually, I am doing animation. I'm all set up now. That's my next big fiasco. My next tax write-off. Not that I don't want to make a profit. It just works out that way.
How about tragedy? Well, we won't say fiasco. We'll say tragedy. I mean, if you're going to suffer right. Boondoggle. Whatever term you would like to attach to it. No, tell me more about animation.
Well, I'm all set up to do animation in my studio. I have an Amiga with a huge amount of memory, RAM, and I'm just about putting the finishing touches on a video system. So I'll have editing capabilities and everything.
Wonderful.
So that's kind of exciting. It is an incredibly time-consuming thing to do animation. Even with a computer.
I've read no stories about that.
Just incredible. So I don't know what the extent of it will be. I doubt, that I'll be doing any long features. During the last couple of years, I tried putting together a couple of pieces that were political cartoons, animated political cartoons. And by the time I had the thing done, the story was old. It would take a minimum of a week and a half to finish anything.
Yeah.
I had one of George Bush when he threw up on the Japanese prime minister.
Right.
And he's at the dinner and he's saying, the prime minister asks him, "Would you like some more sushi, Mr. President?" And George looks up and goes, "Ugh. Yeah, barfs on him and then falls over and he's like spinning like an Alfred Hitchcock effect. And that thing, by the time I had it finished, it was just a little too old. You know, it took so many hours. And then I did another one of
cartooning does.
Animation, yeah.
The animation, you know, they send a lot of it abroad and have it done abroad.
Yeah, The Simpsons.
The Simpsons, they go Taiwan, China, other places, Japan.
Slave labor in Korea.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Korea. I forgot about Korea.
They're espousing all these, you know, progressive values, you know, and as if they're so pro-American artists and everything, and then they
ship everything abroad. Yeah. Apparently, it's cheaper to ship it abroad and bring it back than anything else. And, you know, they keep talking about this trade deficit all the time.
Right.
Well, I know. Come on now, stop doing those things. Stop sending the cartoons abroad. Stop buying the products from everywhere else and do American made. I'm not, yay, rah, rah, America. But I'm just saying,
do
if
you
you
know,
can do it here.
Do you remember the cartoonist, I can't think of his name. Do you remember R. Crumb, the cartoonist? Yeah. That was really popular in the underground in the 60s.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking
about. The Mr. Natural, Keep on Truckin', the guy with the long white beard.
Right.
He's been in Paris for quite a few years now, and I saw a friend of mine who's a cartoonist in Chicago had a book of his work that he had sent over to Crumb, and Crumb wrote all these comments for him. Yeah. And one of the things he wrote that was really funny was, to be an artist in America is to be a real loser. And I know exactly what he means, because, you know, when you try to do, quote, real art, you know, could be the name of a company, Real Art, one word.
That's a good
Toys
word.
R Us.
Yeah, right.
You really find out that, you know, the American culture is so commercialized that you can't break through that. And if you try to do anything that's really culturally revolutionary, you know, you might as well just forget it, or just go to Europe, because there is such a, you know, system here to just keep that contained.
Well, certainly, of course. So, they don't want any new ideas. They want to keep making money the way they're making money. Not very well, but they want to keep it that way.
Right. They want to make
anyone to gamble.
Think, or, you know.
Oh, heaven forbid.
And the
no, thinking. That's really bad. You're talking dirty talk.
That's taboo.
That's the thinking.
Yeah. And so that was one of the problems we had. I mean, Minihaha was very popular, but it was a little too intelligent. You know, it wasn't.
People like ludicrous situations, but they don't want to think about it.
Yeah, I think they like sort of, especially in Minnesota, the Scandinavian culture.
Right.
I think they like kind of a nice, kind of a soft, you know, version of humor. Something that's not too,
they want
something nice. They want something nice.
To smile at and
inoffensive.
Chuckle.
Yeah.
The not ha joke like stand-up comedy. They don't want that.
Well, they like that too, as long as it only deals with hair in the shower or
something like
boy-girl relations.
It's something very
kind of innocuous.
Innocuous situation where you start talking about Norwegians or anything else right away. Wait a minute now.
Well, they like that. That was
they like Norwegian, huh?
Yeah,
that was the first. Are on the block now, huh?
The first thing we did was, in the very first issue, it was the Scandinavian comics issue, and that thing went over.
I would like to read it. I did not
well.
see it.
It went over very well. It was called "It Came from Scandinavia." It was like a horror story, you know, about the history of Minnesota and how we came to be. And that was how the name of Minihaha occurred. Was that the story was that the settlers who came to this part of the world found the Native Americans here, and the Native Americans, who, you know, had the reputation for being very stoical, took one look at the settlers and they thought, or no, it was the other way around. The settlers took one look at the American Indians and they said, boy, they're so jocular, they're so, you know, compared to us, they're always joking and
kidding
around, so they called it Minihaha, land of small laughter. Something like that. I can't remember exactly.
Well, what else led to the demise of it? A lot of work involved?
It was very popular, so the real reason that I had to stop was just the number of hours that it took to do the thing. It was just preposterous. Sure. I suspect that we'll come back in some form, reincarnate, you know, and do it in maybe a quarterly or something like that.
How about comics are us, you know, our us? You know, that kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
thing. I don't know. I mean, how do I know you? You're much better
Well,
prepared.
we'll probably keep it Minihaha, but we'll do it in a completely different format. So the last issue,
Yes,
in order to get rid of the thing, to kill it off properly,
Okay.
we went out with a bang.
Went out with a bang. All right. I'm a sucker. Go ahead. Tell me.
Well, rather than tell you, I don't know if are we set up to show the a little bit of that tape? Do you want to go ahead and do that? I was talking to my barely managing editor, and we decided that it would be a good idea to go out with a bang. You missed!